I have to say, I'm so glad you're sitting here with us, not just because you're not sick. I'm so thankful you're not sick, but I'm also thankful that like you're not in jail right now.
Yeah, had a close call. Okay, this is crazy. I got to tell all of you guys the story. This has never happened to me.
Well, you've been in jail before, but...
Bringing up my past.
For one day, one night.
Yeah. So I go to the bank. We had a friend from out of state. They had a car on our property that they were selling. And a guy shows up at the house who was like wild. They make the exchange. The guy gives him $6,000 in cash. Not very expensive car, it was a used old car. But I needed to get that money to our friend out of state. I take $6,000 cash to the bank. And as I'm depositing the money, the machine would stop halfway through as the money, the money's going through, it stops. And I'm looking at the lady, she goes, oh, takes a bill out. I'm going, what is going on in my head? She looks at the other teller. There's people around. She goes, we've got counterfeit money here. I'm like, what? If you have a bold summer weight loss goal, but injections aren't for you, listen to what doctors have said about lean.
They said this supplement is as close as they come to the benefits of those popular injections.
Yeah, like injections, lean was created to help maintain healthy blood sugar and help control appetite and cravings. But the rare ingredients in lean are also designed to help burn fat by converting fat into energy. And the best part, no needles, just real results.
Doctors have created a healthier way to lose weight by capturing the power of natural ingredients.
Yeah, so let's get you started with 20% off. Just use code GINGER20, JINGER20 at takelean.com. That's GINGER20 at takelean.com.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease and is not a substitute or alternative for care from a healthcare provider.
What's going on, guys? Ginger and Jeremy here. We're back for another episode of the Ginger and Jeremy podcast. And if you're not already following us on socials, go to TikTok, go to Instagram, follow at Ginger and Jeremy, and we put up a bunch of clips from the show. Sometimes we put up some funny behind the scenes, so you'll want to be sure to follow along there. But we're glad you're back for another episode. Ginger, how you doing?
Yeah, welcome back. I am hanging in there. As you can probably hear, I have a lot of congestion. I have been sick. I was sick for, I think this is actually, is this a week? We're going on a week.
Yeah.
Because it's Saturday.
I think you can hear it in my voice
Saturday. Too. That's wild.
Yeah.
That is so wild. And Jeremy, I don't know what's going on. Maybe he got just a tiny bit of this stuff. But I got sick, and then a couple days later, Finn got sick. And then a couple days after that, Evie got sick. And Felicity was sick. She started it. So she started it like a week and a half before any of us got anything. She came down with a fever and then had a little congestion for a day, like a fever for a day, and then congestion for like 2 days. And it wasn't that terrible. But I think because I was up taking care of Finn and all the things, and then Evie.
Well, it's tough.
It's a little tough. So I didn't get a lot of sleep.
It's been tough for you to recover. I think I dodged it. I think Evie got it the worst.
She did. She actually had like a stomach component to it.
Yeah,
so she's
the only one who threw up.
Vomiting a couple times.
Oh, this poor girl.
It was really, really bad. But
she got hit the hardest. But I think any families with kids can relate, though, where it's like dominoes.
One person gets it, and then you think, oh, great, we're almost over this. Like, I can't wait to go out and be over it. 48 hours has passed. Let's get outside. And then the next person gets it. And then it's like another 48 hours, then the next person. And the other night, Jeremy honestly thought he was going to get hit with a sickness. He came home and he was like, it's hit me. I'm going to feel so sick. I think it's coming on. And then you bounce back.
Yeah, I woke up the next day feeling fantastic.
Yeah, it's good.
But that must have been crazy in your house growing up.
Oh, my goodness.
Was the domino just nonstop?
Felicity actually said the other day, she has been referring to my family as the Duggars, which is proper. But she said the other day when I think Finn had gotten sick and maybe Evie was just starting to get sick. And I was like, oh, man, this sickness is just not going to go away. And she sat there and she was like, well, I'm sure it was really bad for the Duggars. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was talking about that, how we must have all gotten sick at the house. And I said, yeah, There were a couple times. I remember one time in particular where 2 of us did not catch the sickness. It went around the house for a month and a half. It was the flu.
Really?
It was influenza. And it went around the house and everybody was getting sick. They were dropping like flies. They were sick for a week at a time, taking Tamiflu. And John David and I, we had this thing. We were like, we're washing our hands nonstop and we're taking a couple packets of emergency a day. And then also whatever else we were taking on top of it, vitamins and stuff. We didn't get sick for a month and a half.
Really?
The family was sick. We were living in the house and didn't get it.
You and John.
Yeah.
Strongest immune systems of the bunch.
Well, I don't know about that, but we did everything that we could to stay away from the fam and we didn't get sick. We probably didn't like help anybody. We're like, no, we're not going to get near you, but.
Were there other times where you just felt like you guys were sick for ages? Because you said this week, you were like, this week has felt like a month.
Oh, yeah. It was so long. And I think that there were a lot of components to this week. So for one, we had a couple things that were happening on our calendar. So yeah, for my family, that did happen, by the way. I totally missed that question. That happened. We would get sick.
I mean, you literally for months.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
we would get sick for like a month and a half and it was rough. But anywho, we this week had a lot of fun things that were happening. And one of the things was Felicity, our dear, dear friends who are more like family, they were hosting a tea party for Felicity's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so special. I mean, amazing. They had like 8 to 10 of her friends who they had invited. And it was supposed to be super sweet. Like they come to our friend's house, have this amazing tea party, have little party favors, the whole 9 yards, and moms are supposed to be there. No, I have some pictures though, but it was supposed to be so lovely. Well, I ended up getting sick right before.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to take Felicity. So one of our friends came. She drove to our house, picked up the girls, took them to our friend's house for Felicity's birthday party. And it was the weirdest thing not being at my own daughter's birthday. And so all these other moms and daughters are there for the tea, and I wasn't there. We want to take a break from this episode to tell you about Function Health.
Yeah, and this week, Ginger and I got educated on something. If you're dealing with mood swings all the time and feel like it's a constant, your genes might actually be contributing to this. There is a gene called MTHFR that helps your body process folate, a nutrient essential for making DNA. And it can actually disrupt how your brain makes the neurotransmitters that keep you steady and clear-headed. And if that gets mutated, it can affect you with drowsiness, anxiety, even depression, migraines, chronic pain, and you wouldn't know it. But the good news is you can measure it and do something about it.
Function gives you access to genetic testing available as an add-on to see if you carry MTHFR mutations.
Yeah, so look, this is a health platform that gives you access to aspects of your health that you wouldn't otherwise know. Like I didn't even know about MTHFR and how it mutates and how it can affect your mood for that week. But Function informs you. It gives you data, real data about your health. The Function app, friends, it's worth it for your health. And it's not only going to show you stuff like that would be helpful, like something like this, but even if there are life-threatening conditions that you need to deal with your doctor. We love Function Health. You will too. So learn more about Function Health, but about your health by going to functionhealth.com/ginger.
We want to take a break from this episode to tell you about Cozy Earth.
Our Saturday mornings are a very special time in our household because we are woken up every morning by our 2 little girls who come running into the room to join us in bed. And then we get Finn out of his crib and we all sit in bed and watch cartoons. And I'll tell you what's made that even better, Cozy Earth.
Our Cozy Earth bamboo sheets are buttery soft and it is the perfect place for all of us to hang out. I mean, it's hard to get out of bed because it's so comfortable.
Yeah.
That's kind of the problem you want to have in your bed.
And the good news is that on Saturdays, we don't have to get out of bed.
Oh, yeah. It feels like we're at a luxury resort.
Oh, yeah. And we watch cartoons. About 20 minutes into the first cartoon, Ginger gets bored, goes downstairs and makes bacon and pancakes, which is phenomenal.
It's kind of amazing. But they also have a risk-free purchase option, so you can try their sheets for 100 nights and return them if you don't like them. But we know you're not going to return them because they are so good.
Yeah, so head to CozyEarth.com. Use our code GINGER, Jinger, for 40% off the entire site.
do it now.
They've got clothes. They've got everything.
Oh, yeah, pajamas. It's so giftable. So if you're looking for something to get for your mom, your sister, your friend.
The problem is,
go
I
get
would
it
say
now.
order 2 because you're not going to want to give it away. You're going to get one for yourself,
Problem.
give another away. CozyEarth.com, use code Jinger for 40% off.
Now back to the episode. So it was a little sad moment, but Felicity and Evie came back just so excited. I mean, they had the best time. So that was one of the reasons why I was like, of all the times for that to happen. You know, I feel like that's with sickness. That's the hardest part, is just that FOMO, because you don't want to miss out on what's happening around you.
Right.
And it's just hard enough to slow down as a mom and not be able to get up and do all the things.
Do you ever find yourself trying to plan your, like, I was kidding, we've with somebody this week about the sickness, but like trying to get sick to get over it because you've got a huge week the next week or something where you're like,
oh yeah,
trying to get the germs because you don't want to miss an event.
What's happening the week after? Yeah, for sure. I thought about that though. I was like, thank the Lord it was this week, because we have stuff happening the next couple weeks. We have guests in town. Your parents are coming to town. Friends from Laredo are coming. And we also have Pastor John's memorial. There's so much that's happening that I don't want to miss. And so I'd much rather be sick this week.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyhow, but Jer, I am very thankful. I have to say, I'm so glad you're sitting here with us, not just because you're not sick. I'm so thankful you're not sick, but I'm also thankful that like you're not in jail right now.
Yeah, had a close call with person. So, okay, this is crazy. I got to tell all of you guys the story because this has never happened to me. But
well, you've been in jail before, but
bringing up my past
for one day, one night.
Yeah,
You've already shared that story publicly.
It was one night. Yeah.
We can cut that out.
No, I want to keep that in. That's so funny. Yeah, so I had deja vu, in other words. So I go to the bank. We had a friend from out of state. They had a car on our property that they were selling. And so one of the college kids was like helping them sell it. And a guy shows up at the house who was like wild. And the guy selling it was like, this guy's, crazy.
Cuckoo.
Yeah. But he's here to buy the car. So they make the exchange. The guy gives him $6,000 in cash. Not very expensive car. It was a used old car. And but I needed to get that money to our friend out of state. So I take $6,000 cash to the bank, going to deposit it and then send him a wire. And as I'm depositing the money, the machine would stop halfway through as the money, the money's going through, it stops. And I'm looking at the lady, she goes, oh, takes a bill out. I look at the machine, it says suspect document. I'm like, what?
So bad.
So then she puts it back in, stops again, takes another bill out. I'm going, what is going on in my head? She looks at the other teller. There's people around. She goes, we've got counterfeit money here. I'm like, what?
Oh, no.
She does that 5 times. $500 of counterfeit money. And I'm sitting there like shocked at the bank. All this stuff going through my head like, oh, they think I'm trying to deposit fake money. So, of course, I give my dumb excuses like, yeah, my buddy was selling a car, and this is the cash from the car, thinking they don't believe me. Like they are just going, yeah, we've heard that one before.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm fascinated by this. The guy next to me who's making a deposit is fascinated by it as well. He's going, whoa, there's fake money. He like feels really bad for me. So he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, thinking I'm losing out on all this money, which I wasn't, but my buddy was, unfortunately. And so I'm standing there at the counter with $6,000 and all of these counterfeit bills being pulled out by the bank teller. And I'm just thinking, I'm done. Like they're going to bring in the cops. They're going to do an investigation. They're going to run fingerprints or whatever. And it ended up not being that bad because the money was so obviously fake. The teller let me feel it. It was like just regular paper. And so she goes, yeah, sir, sorry. I'm going to have to write a report on all of these bills. So you're going to be here a little while because I've got to do an individual report for each one. And I'm like, this is crazy. So I started asking her questions like, do you ever see this? She's like, yeah, we've seen counterfeit money before, but nothing like this. And so like the tellers are fascinated.
We're in LA too.
Other
Like,
customers are like one guy gave me his condolences, like as he left, like, I'm so sorry, buddy. I'm like, yeah, thanks. Like it was
see
really
in 20 years.
yeah. Like, all right, last taste of freedom here. So I'm sitting there just like the spectacle at the bank. And so I asked the lady.
You texted me.
Yeah.
And when you texted me, I actually looked up on ChatGPT. I looked up to see what can happen if you are trying to deposit money at the bank and even if it's movie money. And it said the teller will spot it quickly. The bill will be confiscated. You may be questioned and you won't get credit for it. And in worst case scenario, if it looks like you knowingly tried to pass this counterfeit currency, it will lead to federal charges up to 20 years in prison and a hefty fine.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that's what I looked up as you had texted me that. And
So
I was
you didn't
like,
think I was coming home.
oh my word. Like what in the world?
So look at this. I'm going to show you guys on the camera. Here. This is the photo of what it looked like. So it says suspect document. As I'm depositing this,
Oof.
and this is all the bills next to the teller's hand. Next to the teller's hand there is all the money. And I'm just sitting there like, oh great. So I say, can I go have a seat while you do this? You know?
I'm about to pass out.
She said, yeah. So she says, yeah, that's fine. So I bolted out the door. No, I'm kidding. Hey guys, we want to take a quick break from this episode to talk to you about Magic Spoon.
So if you know me, you know I love my eggs. I eat them for breakfast every morning. But the other day, I switched it up. All of the Magic Spoon cereals are sitting there. My kids are about to eat cereal, and I was like, you know what? Because it's Magic Spoon, I can actually enjoy this. Because for years, I would never eat cereals because of all of the side effects. I just feel terrible when I eat regular cereal. And Magic Spoon has protein in their cereals. So you're getting 13 grams of protein with 0 grams of sugar and 4 grams of net carbs. That's it. That's incredible.
I've always loved cereal, but to see Jinger get hooked on cereal instead of eggs, Magic Spoon, the magic is real. I've got to just say, because Jinger is a woman of habit, but I saw her eating cereal for breakfast the other day and I went,
like
okay, this
4 mornings in a
this
row.
stuff is the real deal.
It's legit. So y'all, you need to get yours. So you get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/ginger. Or look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/ginger for $5 off. We want to take a break from this episode to tell you about Fabric by Gerber Life.
Yeah, Fabric by Gerber Life is term life insurance that is such a great option for families who are busy. You've got a lot going on, but you want to take care of your family financially in case something horrible happens. Well, Fabric is a great way to do that.
Fabric by Gerber Life is term life insurance you can get done today. It's made for busy parents and all online, so on your schedule and right from your couch.
Yeah, and you could be approved with no health exam required. So they're really trying to make it convenient and available for people who are busy and have a lot going on in life, but want life insurance.
And you could be covered in under 10 minutes.
So join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to help protect their family. Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/gingerjeremy. That's meetfabric.com/gingerjeremy. Policies issued by Western Southern Life Assurance Company, not available in certain states. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions. So, I mean, she's got my ID, whatever. So I go sit down. Like 5 minutes later, she comes over and goes, hey, you're good. This is movie money. So because it's actually play money, it's not like legal tender or whatever. She's like, we don't have to do a report.
That's so wild.
Because it's essentially a toy. Like it's categorized as like a toy. So movie money, you can buy like $20,000 of movie money on Amazon for like $50. And it's very clearly not the real thing.
Because it's printed saying it's movie money.
Yeah. So instead of in God we trust, it says in props we trust. And then all over the place, it has for motion picture purposes only,
Okay. If it was like, if that guy legit had a bill that was looking like it was real, like he had printed it and it didn't have all that on there,
Right.
saying it was, if it didn't say it was movie money, it would have been a different story.
Yeah, it would have been like if he was trying to get over, like if I was putting money into the bank trying to make them think it was real, I don't think I would have necessarily been in huge trouble because I think they know me well enough at the bank.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot, they would have to look at motive and all this stuff.
Right.
But
and
potentially
it wasn't that much money, really.
She would have had 500 out of 6,000.
No.
But she would have had to write a report for every single bill.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it would have gone on their record, like that I, as a customer, tried to get one over on them. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, Jinger Duggar's husband, trying to traffic in fake money. So she's like, yeah, this is just, and she gave him back to me. So I have him in my office. I should have brought him in today, but
crazy.
$500 of fake money. So I had to call my buddy and go, hey, dudes, I'm so sorry. You're out $500. And I think he sold it to someone like on Facebook Marketplace or something. So there's no way to really find that guy.
That's
insane.
Did it.
So now I'm just wondering, like, did that guy do it intentionally? And if so, why didn't he try to save more money? If you're willing to lie and cheat,
well, you probably don't
only
want to put too
500
much
out
in
of
there
6,000?
because he thinks you're going to look through it and find it.
Yeah. Okay. So that is what it made me think. Okay, if you're selling stuff like where there's a cash exchange, you really do need to look at all the money.
And it can be awkward in the moment, like we talked about that. Like it could be awkward to sit there and like make sure, hold up every bill, make sure it's legit. But at the same time, it's a transaction. So you need to go push past the awkwardness to do that, to make sure that it's legit because you don't know this person. And it looks like you're not believing them or you're judging their character. But at the same
holding
time,
it up to the sunlight every single bill.
At the same time, it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, he lost $500. And
thankfully, it was just 500.
Yeah. But that's crazy. So in movies, when the car blows up and the trunk full of cash goes everywhere, they're not obviously using real money. They're using movie money.
Crazy. And you know what the funny thing is, though? That amount, the 500, that person had texted us and said, oh, you should just keep 500 and go on a nice dinner date.
Yeah, because we let him keep the car
at our place. And I was like, no, you just keep that extra and come visit us. And so that's what I said. And then that's wild.
So they did end up losing the 500. We got it. So we're going to take this movie money down for a dinner date. Just kidding. So what's crazy is if you were to use that money itself, like only that money, anybody who holds it would go, oh, this is fake.
Yeah.
So it only really works in a pile of cash,
of money.
Which is probably why he only did $500 worth.
Yeah.
And like put it throughout.
Yep.
But then you're still counting it.
Because, there's no way, like he for sure planted that because there's no way that if you went to the bank to get money, it's not coming from the bank. So he had to have, he placed it in there, I bet. So.
What a punk thing to do.
It's crazy.
Crazy. Okay, so you know what that got me thinking though, Ginge? Was because this was selling cars and then all the shifty, shady business of selling cars and the losing the 500, dealing with dishonest people. Usually it's car salesmen who are the dishonest people, right? Isn't that kind of like
might be
the cliche?
Well, he might be.
The car salesman?
Actually, yeah.
Our friend who's
No. The guy who bought it, he might be reselling it.
Oh, true.
So I'm going to go look up that car on the market.
You should go look up that car on the market.
He probably put it back on the market.
He's really trying to make a profit, this guy. But you know what it reminded me of? There was a time in your life when you sold cars, or at least...
I invested in them.
You invested in cars.
I did go to the auctions and stuff, but I don't know.
So your brothers, because a lot of your brothers sell cars, and by the way, they have been so helpful over the years because they know all the lies that car salesmen tell. Mm-hmm. And it's so crazy. It's like used car salesmen will have a certain set of lies and they just recycle them. Mm-hmm. And so I remember years ago, I think it was Jed came to Laredo and I was looking at a Toyota Sequoia and it looked pretty good. And I'm like, hey, this is a good deal. I love a Sequoia. And so we went and talked with the guy, and the guy gave all the lies.
It's
He said,
my mom's or my aunt's.
It's my wife's. She loves this car.
She's never driven over the speed limit.
Yeah, never driven. Only on high. And then said there's a couple things where she's like, she doesn't want to sell it, and there was a circumstance. And me going like, oh, okay, that sounds good. Immediately, I think it was Jed, just like spotted all of it and was like, nope, that's not true. Yep. That's something they say. That's not true. That's something they say. Look here, these seats have been removed and swapped out. These aren't factory. These are, it's probably been an accident here, and just like broke it all down. I was just like, oh, wow. Like immediately saw through all of it.
Yeah. It's wild. Insane.
Yeah. So it's a wild world, but it's one you entered into. And so then that got me, as I was in my office with my fake money and my poor buddy being robbed of $500 because he sold a car and didn't check every bill. It got me thinking about the time you learned that. And then I pulled up some of the clips from the show.
Oh, wow.
And this was from Counting On. So I want to watch a couple of these clips. But this is from when you and I had either just met, but I don't know if we were interested in each other.
Okay.
But I want to pull it up. You can tell me when these clips were.
Probably 71B auto auction.
What's 71B auto auction?
It's
talk about it.
Yeah, it's an auto auction that my family would frequent, and we would just go there to buy cars for a lot of the siblings who were in car business and friends. They would go there to buy vehicles for their lots, or just to flip and trade, or just to buy for themselves. So
really,
I remember going there. Yeah. And I think that's where we filmed that day. Pretty sure. We would go to a lot of different auctions. Copart, that was another one that we would frequent, but
okay, well,
71B, they would serve food. That's what I liked about 71B.
Was it good food?
No. They serve food. No,
okay, so watch this. By the way, this clip opens, and I'm just looking at the opening frame, and your facial expressions are out of control.
I have not seen this in forever.
What's this?
Today, some of my brothers and I are going to a car auction to find some cars that I can flip. I need some advice, from square one all the way out. All the way down the line, I think, in our family, all the way down to James and Justin. They have bought and sold cars, a couple of them actually, before they even had a driver's license or permit. And so I saw them investing in it, and it ended up being a good deal for them. Intense. And so I figured I'd just try to learn the trade as well.
All right, let's go.
Oh, yeah,
71B.
There it is. Oh.
You can look at the miles. That tells you can figure out pretty quick what something's going to sell for.
John David, Joseph, Jed, and Jinger, they were all along on this venture, the auction, trying to pick out a car.
Okay. So first,
go ahead.
Well, first reaction to that.
Yeah, a lot of makeup and interesting. So I loved going to auctions, and I still would love to go to auctions to this day.
So, you want to do that on a date night, Ginger, with that?
Well, the thing is, with the auctions, there's so much that's happening. You have to make a decision so quick, which is nerve-wracking. With cars, we just, talking about that car, you don't know. Within 2 minutes when it's coming through, if you don't get there early enough to check on the cars beforehand, we're walking around right as the sun is coming up, and you're trying to see, okay, what's here? What does this car look like? And that's when you can walk around it, because when they pull it through the bay, you have a short amount of time to make a very quick decision. And so if you buy a lemon, the car can be running when it comes through, but as soon as it pulls through, it might not be running. And then you just bought a car, and now what am I going to do with it? So a lot of those guys will just okay, man, I bought a car that sucks. I'm just going to run it back through. And so they'll do it next time. They'll just leave it and just run it back through. And
hope someone else gets it.
Pretty much. That's exactly what happens.
It's a shady business. So you're showing up early. And what made you want to do this? Did you just have some cash and go, hey, I want to invest in cars?
I did have some money. And the guys they would often go out and buy cars, and they got some really good deals because what happens is, I don't know like a ton about cars, but this is the side of it where I saw them making money. They would go and find a car that an insurance company took, and those, I guess, more would be Copart. So like at Copart auctions, then you would have cars that had a small issue, but then they were claimed by insurance. And so they might have a salvage title, and you're not able to, like not a lot of people are going to buy them. But the insurance companies take it, and then it ends up at this auction.
Sure.
So we actually ended up getting some cars that were hail damaged. We drove hail damaged cars.
Hail damaged are the greatest cars because oftentimes you don't even notice the damage.
Yeah.
The insurance company has to total the whole thing.
Yep.
So here's a little pro tip that I learned from you and your brothers. If you're trying to get a good car inexpensively, look for hail damage salvage title because it's just aesthetic. The insurance company looks and goes, okay, for us to fix every point that's damaged, we have to basically fix the entire exterior of the car. Not worth it. We'll total it. But nothing's wrong with the vehicle, inside, engine. It's just a few dents. And the hail damaged ones we had a
Toyota Sequoia. We also had a Venza.
Toyota Venza.
And you could not tell it was hail damage.
Yeah, you could.
You have to like look on the top and go, oh, okay, yeah, here's some bits.
Yeah, and we drove those for years.
Yeah.
And
you get at a fraction of the cost.
Yeah, and the only reason we got rid of, the Sequoia was because it was like, it was an older car and we were ready
we just upgraded.
to upgrade. And so we got another car, got another great deal on a car, and we're super happy with that. And so that's part of it though. Like when you get something that's hail damaged, it's the way to go. Now you have to be so careful because there are states where if you buy from a certain state, it could be all rusted because it's like, Wisconsin or Michigan or something where they have a lot of snow. Well, then there's on the roads, they're going to have salt. So then all the undercarriage can be rusted from that. And so
look at you with that.
There are certain states.
Over
well,
here.
no, I'm not a car expert. These are just little things that I've heard from the bros. And then there are other things you have to watch out for, like the flood damage cars.
Yep.
And so there are certain things to avoid. But anyhow, this day, I just decided, I was like, okay, I have so much excess of money just sitting here in a bank account.
Much.
And, it wasn't that much. But I thought I'm going to buy 4 or 5 cars and then see if we can flip them. So one of the cars I bought, I don't know if it was this day or another day, but I bought a smart car, which was basically like a little coffin. I'm telling you, that was terrifying. I bought it at this auction. And when we were going to drive them home, I was like, okay, you take this car, you take that car, some of the brothers and friends that were there. And I hopped in this thing and I it accelerated a tiny bit. And when I pushed on the brake, it felt like the back wheels came off the ground because it was so touchy.
It's like a cartoon.
And the brakes were so touchy. And it literally felt like that's what happened because
so funny.
The way that it stopped, I literally was like, from the front to the back of the car, I thought, I'm only driving like maybe 20 minutes home, but I'm not about to drive this thing because it's terrifying.
Really?
So I got out and I drove one of the bigger rigs that I bought. I was like, I'm not going to drive it.
How much would that smart car, how much do you think you bought it for at the auction and then would have sold it for?
Oh, dang. It's been a minute. So I don't even remember. I don't remember how much that was worth at that time.
But you might have bought it for what, $5,000-$6,000 and sold it for $9,000?
Yeah, maybe.
Something like that.
Maybe something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, there was enough margin there to where if something needed a little work, you could put in the work for, I don't know, $1,000 and then you still get 2 out of it or 3. Yeah. But yeah, so you'd make, it's like quick money if you can sell it quick. But the trick is I didn't know anything about cars, but the boys did. And so if they were like, this is a car I would buy, it's a Toyota, it's a Honda, it's something that's going to be great, Lexus, then I would buy a car and then they would send it to their mechanic or whatever, fix up whatever needed to be fixed up.
Or they would fix a lot of it.
Or they'd fix it.
Yeah.
And then I'd just give them a commission on whatever they sold. So I did that a couple times, but I didn't really go beyond that. I think that was about,
So we got
times.
married and you still had a couple cars selling when we got married.
Yeah, because I had done it a couple times over.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how many times. So those cars did sell pretty quick. I think the ones I got, and they were good cars. And I got I got like a sports car hybrid thing, and I think I ended up selling that to a friend, and it was probably one of the best ones I had.
Really?
I kind of kicked myself for a bit because I was like, I should have held on to it for myself, because I ended up having like a decent car, but it was just a nicer car. And yeah, as far as I know, she drove it for a long time and it was great.
Wow. Okay.
Jinger has been going to car auctions with my dad and
Did any of your other
brothers for a
sisters
really
go to
long time. And so she's loved being in that environment, watching them buy cars,
Gianna would sell cars.
resell them
She
and
did.
stuff.
Yeah,
and
later.
So
Yeah.
I'm not really surprised that she's kind of branching out in this way and wanting to do it herself.
82?
Yeah, that's gonna go high.
That's gonna go super high. That's super low miles.
82
I have
is
never
low?
purchased a car of my own at a car auction. I've
feel
been
like
here
82 is high.
throughout the years with my brothers and my dad.
I remember that hat you
Yeah,
wear.
get you one of these, Ginge. That's what you want. Pretty.
Let's write this one down.
I
This
think my
is
friend Heidi made
The
that for
miles
me.
good, I guess, for this.
When I saw
Okay,
the
wait a
SUV,
second, wait
I
a
was
second.
really excited.
Honda Pilot.
No, but did you see that clip? Watch this. You gotta look.
Scott.
Yeah, you gotta look close.
write
Watch
this
the
one down.
producer
This
and
is,
the PA
The
sneak
miles
out.
good, I
There's
guess,
Scott.
There's
for this.
Scott.
Scott, run.
When I saw the
See him?
SUV, I was really excited because
That's funny.
Okay, so that's a side of reality TV that sometimes that stuff sneaks in. And I was just watching this. I went, oh, there they are.
If they would have walked normal, people would have just thought that they were another
Right.
person at the auction.
Right.
But because he's like hiding behind the car and then he runs and then the PA comes, he looks both ways and then he runs behind him.
Yep. So that was one of the things when we were filming, you see like the angles and you see what they're going for. So you've got a cameraman here, you've got a cameraman there, you've got your audio, but then things would happen where you would move. Like let's say there's a scene in our kitchen and we're cooking and you go, oh, I'm gonna go grab the spatula, and you run over and grab it. It's like they all scatter, you know, like
it's I don't wanna say it. It's like mice when you turn on the light, or cockroaches, you turn on the light and they all
Yes.
just scatter.
They scatter, like depending on where you move, they scatter the opposite way. Because, and you'd go, oh, sorry guys.
Or
know,
you
because-
try not to
Yeah.
move too quickly. So if you
Right.
saw that, okay, I need to go over to that drawer to get the spatula, and all the crew's over there,
Or you'd say something.
then I would be like, well, I guess I need a spatula now. Oh, and then you kind of like
there's
give them
always
this
one.
thing, and then
Yeah.
they'd back up.
But there's always Scott, like Scott would be on his iPad like this and
He's taking notes, and then he just
he would like realize and scoot off. That was so funny because there was this constant dynamic where like I would seriously apologize sometimes, but then you're on camera. You can't, you know, oh, sorry guys. It's like, who are you talking to?
yeah.
So
but
you just have to kind of
knew. You give
feel
them
rude, but you're moving and they're all moving and, you know, around you. And it was such a funny dynamic, but then guys would get caught.
Yeah.
And either they were being lazy, they weren't paying attention, or they're in an impossible situation. That was funny too, when you would see like Bill is on boom and he's holding the boom and the cameras start to move and he's like, I can't go anywhere.
He's like, now where
He's
do
like,
I go?
where do I go? You guys have put me.
Especially in small rooms. Like
Yeah.
I feel like our house in Laredo, that happened all the time because you literally couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Or they're chasing a kid, like in the big house all the time, even though it was a huge home. They would be filming and you had a couple crews filming at the same time. And that was also something. They're following somebody gathering laundry in the house and they walk into a room and they're like, oh no, there's the other crew. Like they're there.
Yeah.
Because you're following a kid. And so that happened all the time.
That's really funny. That's just something I noticed.
note.
That's a very, I forgot that about.
I was really excited because several of my friends had the exact same car and it had been really reliable and didn't really need a lot of maintenance.
You've changed a
So
lot.
I knew it would be a dependable car.
Thankfully.
The C36. We'll look at that one.
Alrighty.
I think Ginger probably could get to the point where she'd be, I guess, car savvy, if you will.
Thanks, Joe.
This one here,
I'll take that.
this one here
You
has
are
lower
car
miles,
savvy.
but I think it's been
Not
wrecked
really.
before.
She's very,
Okay.
very wise. She won't just make a rash decision. She's willing to learn from others, and I think that's a great thing.
On a lot of these vehicles, if they have this pinstripe down them like this, that's a telltale sign that it's been wrecked usually. Or
Because it had another paint job done.
they put these pinstripes on there to help it draw your attention away from the door lines
Oh no.
to help make it look like it's lined up.
Man. Getting an inside scoop here.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. These boys are savvy.
They know.
They know what they're talking, and they know the how people in the trade can be dishonest. And these guys operate with honesty. So if you
Yeah.
need a good car, go to these boys. But isn't that crazy? Like the stripe line?
Insane.
So you go to look at a car, and if you see, what would you call it, decals? Or the
I don't know
the
what to
racer
call
stripes,
it.
the tiny racer stripes, that's a sign. He's saying that's probably been an accident. The door's not aligned.
Because this is not it's not a sports car. This is just a normal family car, and it has that around there where it's been added. It's not something that was factory.
Right.
That was already there, I guess is what he's saying. That's crazy.
That's wild. So these guys are just full of wisdom. Did they ever send you to the auction by yourself?
Oh, no, I never would have done that.
Really?
No, I don't know the mechanics of cars. So I never got to the point where I was buying cars by myself. So I would just primarily, they'd like invest in them. So they would be at an auction or I'd be with them and I'd invest in a couple cars and then we'd end up just, I wouldn't do any of that stuff. So by myself, no, but I would just put the money there and then let them deal with it.
Did you ever actually sell the cars? Like, were you ever in the trying to convince someone to sell a car?
Oh, no. I think that when it comes to that stuff, I don't know enough because you have to know the mechanics of the car.
Right.
You have to be able to explain everything. There are questions that are coming at you and you need to be able to carry them. And I can't carry a conversation with that. Like, I would be so lost. Even the other day, there was like a little rattle on one of our cars, and I was asking our friend who knows a little more about cars about it. Because
Why didn't you ask me, babe?
you and I are not car people like that. So I just asked him because he had just had an issue with his car. And so something similar. And I was like, what's this rattle? What should I do? And so it's helpful to have people who know cars.
Yeah, it is.
But, okay, this is something. It's funny because the whole mindset of buying things, when I'm going to sell something or if I'm going to buy something, I think that part of the skill that's been there is our family. Like we went to auto auctions, we went to estate auctions, and we bought tons of stuff used. And so to this day, I had the hardest time buying anything brand new.
Well,
Cars,
just last night,
furniture.
Yeah, you were looking at one of our guest rooms needs 2 twin beds. Mm-hmm. So you're scouring, was it Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, Marketplace.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Because you find restoration hardware and good stuff.
I want bed frames. I don't buy mattresses on there. Let me be clear.
But I just said, we could just buy it new, like from somewhere.
I was like, oh, no. I said, why would I go spend like $600 on a solid wood bed frame when I could get like 2 really great solid wood bed frames somebody's already getting rid of for $100, which is what I did in the girls' room. People comment on those all the time. They're like, oh my word, I love your girls' bed frames. And then I take the time to tell them, I got those for $100 for both. And I got the table. Yeah, the nightstand that goes with it, the matching nightstand. It's so charming, and they're solid wood.
Those are like vintage.
They're solid wood vintage ones.
So actually, it's not always about buying it by used and save the difference. Sometimes it's about finding unique pieces.
I love unique pieces. And I am not a fan of engineered wood. I cannot stand engineered wood. I so despise it. Yes, that's engineered wood.
Sorry.
But
I gave away.
It's okay. It's okay. This is in the studio. It's fine. But my preference is I love solid wood, but I'm not here to pay for the price of it. So I will go on Facebook Marketplace. I will be patient.
This is solid wood.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But I will make sure that those things are solid wood, especially with kids around, because the second that thing's dinged, you're going to see the particle board. You're going to see all of the insides of it.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's going to start to peel and fall apart. But with normal wood, when you ding it, you can just stain it and you can fill it in with wood glue and it's fine and it doesn't peel. So that's
great
why.
point, Ginger.
All
right, I want to watch this clip because Ginger flipping cars becomes like a family, what would you call it? Like they all start talking about Ginger.
Oh, no.
It's my favorite Ginger. All right.
Oh, no.
Every family member in our family is unique in a way. We all have our strengths, our weaknesses, our things that that just make us different.
I definitely think Ginger has the most facial expressions of anybody I've ever met. Her big eyes, and she's like, when she gets embarrassed, she like rolls her eye and things like that. Just
Still
it's
does
so
to
fun.
this day.
Out of all the ones in the family, Ginger is probably the one that's the most passionate about going down to the juvenile detention center and just investing in these young girls' lives that are there. Ginger has a interest in photography, and so now that she's doing things with cars, marketing is one of the keys for selling a vehicle.
Man, I need a nice
I think
camera
she's
like
gonna
that
do well with
again.
it.
That was really sweet. They said a lot. The facial expressions, true.
What are you talking about?
But I mean, that really is true. Like, you are that's what first drew me to you, was how invested you were in other people.
Oh, that's so sweet.
To this day, you're still the one who's always thinking on how to serve others in unique ways, you're noticing people who might go unnoticed.
Well, that's sweet, babe.
You've always been that way.
I don't know what to say now.
Well, what's your...
No, that's a wrap.
It is funny to see that out of all of those kids, every single one is unique.
Oh,
and
yeah.
has different passions, different
And
interests.
personality.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
You
It's
look
so
at your
fun.
sisters, and there's some common denominators. Like, you guys, you're all very, like, resourceful and you solve problems well, but there's unique personalities for each. And we're seeing that with our kids, too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Felicity and Evie, I was thinking as we were taking a family walk this morning that, Felicity is so radically different from Evie, even in how they deal with difficulty.
Yeah.
It's just really,
It's
cute
fascinating to see those personalities developing at such a young age.
Yeah.
And you can really tell a lot about the temperament and who they're going to be.
Have you sensed that with Finn yet? Like what he's
Not
going to
yet.
be?
No. I think what I've realized is as newborns, it is very hard to tell. So it's like they're in this stage. I say newborn, like newborn could be the stage from when they're first born. I feel like until they're 6 months or a year,
Yeah.
you start to see more of that development. At least for our kids, it's been true. And for a lot of my siblings, even growing up, I had a lot of little babies around. And I think that once they're a certain age, then you can tell, but it's hard to say because Felicity, like for the first 3 months, she screamed. And I was like, is this who she's going to be? Is she going to be a miserable child? And it was because she was struggling with a lot of things.
Yeah.
She had colic and whatever, but
And she was also just restless, which kind of is who she is.
it is.
She doesn't want to sit around and cuddle. She
It
wants
is,
to go.
But at the same time, it was like an issue, So
Yeah.
I think once they get to the point where they're able to talk and
Yep.
they're walking around, you can tell a lot more about them. And maybe like Felicity was moving a lot and she was more smiley. So after that time, very personable. Like she started talking so early.
Yeah.
So early, very clearly. She was always in the middle of everybody. And Evie's more chill. She does have that more relaxed vibe and she doesn't like to be the center of attention. She's more introverted. And so we have polar opposites there. And Finn, he's somewhere in the middle. Like he just kind of like, he loves people. So he's going to engage and like connect with them and like laugh. But that's also baby.
Right.
That's what babies do. So you don't really know yet who he's going to be.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, I'm excited to find out. Well, that was really sweet. A little walk down memory lane. And it all got kicked off because I almost got arrested at the bank.
Goodness. What a
fake
wild
bills.
time. I think from here on out, every time I take money to the bank, I'm going to be checking.
Oh, you got to check.
I'm gonna be holding
check
up the
before when you
bills.
receive it.
Yeah.
Good night.
But like, that's insane.
What do you say to somebody when they hand you $6,000 and you go, "Hey, dude, 500 of these are fake"? Like, what do
Yeah.
you do in that moment?
Well, you got to be
Because
real careful in LA. Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing that would be scary is to like tell him. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure he didn't bring
would act-
500 real ones, so then he's going to act like he
well,
doesn't
he'd be
know.
like, oh my, I
Yeah.
didn't know that was in there. Yeah, for sure.
Crazy.
You just got to be careful.
Crazy times. Well, I'm glad I'm here too. We're recovering, Ginger. We're on the mend.
I hope so.
And maybe you should start flipping some cars again. You've got all the knowledge.
Don't have time for that. I do not have time for that.
Well, maybe when we're retired. can flip cars.
Actually, I'm just going to like start my own used.
Car lot?
No, I was going to say like, it's like not a thrift store, but consignment shop or something.
Ooh. Oh, that would be a paradise.
But it would have to be stuff kind of like Carly Jean said. She started that store in LA.
Yeah.
She sourced her own pieces because I don't like all kinds of crap coming in that's just gross and dirty.
Yeah.
But I would love.
Oh, I've got a story about that just to close out here. So, real quick, the Jinger loves thrifting, for you guys who don't know that. And I'm not a big fan, for those of you who don't know that. But I'll go thrifting, and there can be really good finds out here. Well, I, the other day, cleaned out my closet because I'm like, I've got all this stuff I'm not wearing. Want to get rid of it. Gave some to some buddies. But then you said, hey, there's a thrift store in town that'll buy it. So I take 3 garbage bags full of my stuff, which, by the way, was really nice stuff.
Very nice stuff.
Like brand new hoodies, T-shirts, stuff I just won't wear or I've just gotten given to me and I don't have anything to do with it. And they took none of it. They took like 1 T-shirt or something.
Oh my goodness. That was so frustrating.
So I'm sitting here thinking, I don't think you guys want like good clothes. This is like new clothes. But as I'm sitting there delivering this stuff to this thrift store, I look on the shelf and I see a pair of shoes. And they caught my eye and I said, hey buddy, there's like a high school kid. I said, can I take a look at those shoes? Sure, he brings them over. They are off-white Converse Chuck Taylors, which is a collaboration. Off-White was Virgil Abloh was a designer for Louis Vuitton who would design shoes, and he did crossovers with Nike and Converse. And these shoes sell for thousands of dollars. This particular shoe, brand new, would sell for about $1,500. So this is like designer shoe wear.
Jared, he knows shoes.
So I look at that and I go, how much is this? The guy tells me $40. I go, yeah, I'll take them. They're used. But used, these things sell for like $800.
Yeah, it's insane.
And so they didn't buy any of my clothes, but I bought a pair of shoes and we've got to throw those on eBay.
Yeah.
If anybody wants them for $700, $800, well, hey, we'll give them to you for $650. It just can't be movie money.
It's crazy. He
What a
found those,
crazy
came
find.
out, and he was like, look at these shoes. And I was like, what are those? What did you buy? And then he told me, and I was like, well done. Like, we're going to make some money anyhow. Like, even though they wouldn't buy our stuff, you're
We'll
going to
make
make
some
money
money
off of those shoes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hey, if thrifting gave you that kind of return every time, I'd be into it. I just think that's a rare
Yeah, I
occasion.
think it is. It depends on where you shop. And so I like to pop in, and I will pop in at thrift stores. If I'm like out running an errand and I have like 10 minutes, I'll pop into a thrift store, do a quick loop, see what I can find. I found like kids' picnic tables that it's like $100 picnic table that I really wanted for the kids. But I was like, it's kind of like an accessory. Like I don't have to have. So I'm not going to go drop $100 on that right now. And I went into the thrift store and I found one for $9 and it collapses.
Great.
I've taken it to friends' houses for parties. They're all asking me to bring it all the time. Our kids eat out of it every day. And I'm so glad I found it for $9.
$9.
That's why I thrift. I just like pop in. I won't buy anything like half the time. But then when I find a deal, I find a deal.
All right.
I could talk for hours on that.
I like it. Maybe we'll do an episode on thrifting. Did you ever do a Duggar show episode on thrifting?
Oh, so many.
All right. Well, then maybe we'll do a
So
react
many.
episode to that.
Let's go.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out. We appreciate it. We're getting better. We're on the mend. And we'll see you next week.